Scared, angry, overwhelmed. These are some of the emotions described by the 11 million Canadians who live with diabetes. Today, the Canadian Diabetes Association becomes Diabetes Canada. It's launching a new campaign to end diabetes and a new video to help everyone understand what it is like living with this disease.
I'm putting on a brave face,
pretending that it's okay.
I'm so tired of trying to save myself. I still want to have fun.
See the light out of this tunnel.
I don't want to live a life that makes me feel this scared.
And joining me now in studio is the Chief Science Officer for Diabetes Canada, Dr. Jan Hucks, and Grant Leeder, who's living with type 1 diabetes. Thank you both for being here today. Jan, every 3 minutes, a Canadian is diagnosed. How is Diabetes Canada hoping to change the perception of this disease?
So Diabetes Canada will bring a new and sharper focus onto diabetes and will rally all of us to stand with the 1 in 3 Canadians who are living with diabetes or pre-diabetes.
And Grant, talk to us about the moment that you discovered your diagnosis, when you were diagnosed with type 1.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 15 years old. It was pretty overwhelming, not really knowing what that was going to be. And since I've been living with diabetes, there's a lot of different challenges and stigma that come with living with type 1 diabetes.
So how did you take that? You took that and you turned it into a positive as a way to engage others with the diagnosis.
Yeah, I was a bit overwhelmed at first and not wanting other people to see me testing my blood sugar or taking my injections. I really didn't want to do that in front of other people. But the more people understood and could empathize with what I was going through, the easier it became to sort of become an advocate for myself.
And what's one thing that you want others to know about this diagnosis? For those who are they're gonna learn today that they are diagnosed with the disease. What do you want them to know?
That it's a lot. It's like having a full-time job on top of everything else that's going on in your life. There's so many, you're thinking about it all the time. And so I want other people, I think, to empathize and understand with how much is added onto you when you are diagnosed with diabetes.
And Jan, so this new campaign that we just got a glimpse of, what would you say the focus of it is? Because to me, it seems like there's two things going on. We want to educate those who are living with diabetes or pre-diabetes, but also we want to let people know that they can live sort of free of the fear of it as well.
Yeah, I think that there is a big emotional burden that comes with diabetes. It can be a really challenging disease, but that challenge is made worse because of stigma. Mm-hmm. And that stigma actually comes from misunderstanding. It's not based on facts. So we want to raise awareness so that the people who touch the lives of people affected by diabetes have an accurate picture and can offer empathy instead of stigma.
Well, if we have a little bit of time here, what are some of those what's some of that misinformation out there that we could clear up right now?
So one of the biggest myths is that diabetes is caused because people are fat and lazy or that they ate too much sugar. Grant's condition has nothing to do with eating sugar. It has nothing to do with being fat and lazy. He had an autoimmune disease that destroyed his ability to make insulin. Type 2 diabetes, which is actually the more common type, may be related to obesity, but it also has strong genetic factors that you have no choice over. And even the obesity is often not a lifestyle choice. If you live in an area where it's difficult to get exercise and difficult to access food, and you have limited social and socioeconomic means, diabetes isn't entirely your fault. And so we want to get rid of that blaming and shaming.
And Grant, you know, there are those living with and those who don't have it. And I think it'd be not surprising for those who don't have diabetes to misunderstand these things. Do you feel, though, that those living with diabetes still have a misunderstanding of those facts?
Sorry, can you...
Well, do you think that, is there a level of education that we have to teach those with diabetes about these facts as well?
Yeah, I would agree, yeah, that there's... Yeah.
And I think that, you know, the evidence suggests that while that tendency to blame people exists in people who don't have it, people blame themselves as well, especially people with type 2. They believe that myth that I brought it on myself by my bad choices, and that blame then makes it harder for them to manage their disease. It can contribute to diabetes distress and anxiety and poorer blood sugar levels.
Those numbers that we quoted off the top of this chat, about 11 million Canadians, that's a staggering number. In your experience, are you seeing the rate accelerate or slow down of people who are contracting this disease or living with prediabetes?
Certainly the growth continues. It's doubled in the last 12 years, and as you said, a new diagnosis every 3 minutes. That's driven by, obviously, changes in lifestyle, changes in the ethnic profile of Canadians. But part of it, actually, hold with me on this, is a good news story. The number of people living with diabetes is growing because people are living longer with it. We're doing a great job of managing, they're doing a great job of managing their disease, and if they live longer, then that drives up the numbers.
Well, thank you both for being here today, and you know, so much of it begins with destigmatizing, and hopefully we've done a little bit of that work this morning. We appreciate it. We'll have the full video for Diabetes Canada up on our website and social media, but let's take another look as we go to break.
I'm putting on a brave face.
Pretending that it's okay.
I'm so tired